Season 9, Episode 17. The Summer Sun Setback. And begin. But, okay. So,
This
while
is
Grogar goes out searching for a new magic source after the bewitching bell retrieval failure, the rest agree on their distrust of Grogar and seek to head to Counterlot to figure out how to use the bell for themselves. They've united, just not in the way that Grogar would like, assuming he isn't already well aware of their treachery and is using them for something else. He may be already aware that they have the bell, but he's just toying with them for something.
Yeah.
Knowing them, they left it out somewhere, and he saw it, and it's like, oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, it's in the sock drawer.
Or he can sense its proximity. He can feel
it
the
is
power
it's
nearby.
really control.
I feel the power.
I can feel it here. Why the hell haven't they said anything?
Did those idiots accidentally pick it up? Or are they intentionally not giving it to me? Well, I mean, in some ways, it works to his advantage to get them to take the information on the bell away from Canterlot, to go in and retrieve it. That way, they don't have as much information when if they're trying to counter the bewitching bell.
And honestly, if he's trying to get them to work together, serving as as someone to surmount, is a great tactic to do so, because he's getting them to cooperate, and in cooperation, they are finding a lot of success.
Well, and what he has the advantage of doing is they're all idiots, so he can just say, I really don't want you to do this. Use reverse psychology on them. It would probably work because they're all idiots. and they would go out and do what he wanted them to do in the first place.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they're idiots, really, because
comparatively to
they're
Grogar,
selfish.
And as they pull off some stuff, but they're not the sharpest tools in the shed.
Were they looking kind of dumb with their finger and their thumb in the shape of an L on their forehead?
Except only Tirek has fingers, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So the other two couldn't do it.
Oh.
I think they're more intelligent than that, but they're also a little too self-absorbed to take advantage of that intelligence.
Yeah.
But
they're not incompetent fools. These are all villains who managed to hold an entire season on their own.
Yeah.
They're still squabbling idiots.
Yeah.
They're constantly getting in each other's way. They don't think through what they're doing.
They don't.
Tirek was just powerful. He wasn't incredibly intelligent. Like
he got Discord to betray everyone.
Yeah, but Discord's not exactly that hard to mess with on that regard. At that point in his development, he really wasn't that hard to mess with like that.
It's like, hey, Discord, you want to kick? Sure,
yeah,
okay, evil.
You can't really say that the Pegasus was stupid. She was a manipulative bitch who
the entire school under her thumb, metaphorically speaking.
Still, idiot. Anyway, Twilight is surprisingly not Twilighting hard about the task of planning the Summer Sun celebration. She's actually learned to trust and delegate. So, character growth? But right as she's... yeah, it's like, it's so boring. Right as she's about getting comfortable with the sisters drop the bomb that this will be the last Summer Sun celebration, it was always about them. They want to end the old and start the new. They speak of leaving, but I wonder what they will do. Will they go into the West in the Undying Lands?
Probably.
I'd like it if they stuck around just as family, because that's pretty much what they are.
Yeah, well,
They're retiring. They're getting a little house in Florida, and
Which is totally fine as long as you can still visit them.
anyway. Twilight wants to make the final Summer Sun special. So, Summer Sun celebration / special. Yeah. So, despite the initial concern of her friends and the delight of the Lord of Chaos, she adds more to the celebration workload despite being basically finished. The tasks are small enough to fit on a note card and be surprisingly small. Like she's setting reasonable goals. It's like, oh yes, I want to do something special, and they're like, oh, more work. This is gonna go crazy. And Discord is just, you know, just tinting his fingers in anticipation, and
He wants
then it's like, no, this is completely reasonable. They could totally do that. They could totally do that. A note card. That's it.
so possible. It's boring, but it works.
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, it's actually some character development from that the great swanification thing. Which we get some interesting dialogue that sort of supports that. If Discord, if this is the last Summer Sun situation, simply can't miss it. Well, I see I've arrived just in time for the Twilight gives her friends an impossibly long and overly detailed list predicament, which it's sort of everybody
Then
expects, and then she's like, no, I guess some Draconicus isn't the know-it-all he thinks he is. Dash, this is it? What? We're kind of with Discord on this one. No more crazy lists, no more freaking out. With your help, I know we've got this. Discord character growth is so boring. Do I at least get my own note card? There. Now
so
I need to go.
it's a note card.
Yeah, it's like, don't mess stuff up.
Yeah, don't let Discord do anything to Discordy.
Yeah. Now she's
Well,
gonna
that's
go
no
rewrite her
fun.
speech, but yeah, this is one of those things where this season actually has like sequential storytelling where there's like, yeah, you can go, oh yeah, they did that earlier in the season, and that's set up for this episode. Oh, they did that earlier in the season, and that's set up for this bit in this episode. It's like, oh, you set it up there, and it's paying off here, huh?
And there usually been bits that are connected, but they're normally in such a wholly episodic manner that you can't really directly connect them very easily.
Or they do it across seasons.
And
Like
they
they'll
were
have something.
fillers, but each of them was a standalone episode that began and ended where in that 22-minute time slot.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times they'll if they're gonna reference it back, it'll usually be something that was the continuity will be from some other season. This is
Yeah.
like they actually planned everything out instead of just
Yeah.
having like, okay, you write this, you write this, you write this, you write this. This seems like a much more controlled season, and every episode has a point to it.
Yeah.
and opposed to like just
It's
throwing
got
the episodes
overarching
where
story.
You're talking
Right.
over each other. I can't hear either of you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
as opposed to just throwing the episodes together in whatever order they feel like it. This season, they're actually making it a coherent story throughout
Yeah.
the whole season. Whereas,
It-
like prior seasons, it's been like, oh, we're gonna have Halloween, and then we're going to have, summer, and then it's going to be Christmas, and it's like, dude, what?
Yeah. This time it's an actual overarching plot.
Yeah, it's subtle and it's done in little bits and pieces. It's not,
And you-
at the time, it's not. It's not.
Sure.
You don't see it as this is building for something else. It's like, no, this is just an episode on its own, and then they surprise you with, oh, okay, they're using that. Oh, they're using that. Oh, okay, that's why they had all these episodes that did this, and now they're coming together and actually, saying something. Which brings me to the security upgrades actually do work.
Yeah.
It's like you can't fly in because of the fans, and she tries to get in, and it's like tries to do the thing, but it doesn't work because
She doesn't
uh,
actually have a
it's
badge.
yeah, she doesn't actually have a badge, which is interesting if you think about it, because it kind of it's a bit like Odo. It's like is okay, so you created that as part of your you know
But
shape shifting powers. So you're taking a piece off of your body and touching it to the door.
That
It's like,
kind of makes me think of the 50th anniversary where Osgood, if I'm a Zygon, that means my clothes are part of my body. What happens if I lose a shoe or something?
Oh my.
but yeah, so it's like
What
tuk, tuk, tuk.
happens if they take away her badge? It's like, wait, you don't belong here. Yes, 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 I do. I'm gonna have to confiscate. Please don't.
it'd be like ripping off my arm. No, literally, you're ripping off my arm. These forelegs are my wings.
Yeah, but the thing about this is also that they don't like she tries to do that, doesn't get in, and the guards just let her go. They're like mildly annoyed, and then they just let her go. It's like somebody was trying to sneak into the castle with a fake uniform because a real uniform would have a working medallion. It's like if she's not got a working medallion and she's got a Royal Guard uniform, at the very least you've got somebody impersonating the Royal Guard.
Like, no, this medallion's just on the fritz. I dropped it a while ago.
You'd think they'd at least hold her for like, hey,
It's all pride.
yeah, they'd hold her and have somebody examine the medallion and make sure that and see what's going on with her, because that seems really suspicious, and that you would at least hold her for you know you'd hold her for a while just to make sure that you get her story straight, and then they'd probably still grill her for like, oh yeah, trying to find inconsistencies in her story and trying to. It's like you're not supposed to do that, and you're not on any like. Let's see your cutie mark. Oh, that's not a registered cutie mark in the Royal Guard. We've looked through it. What's your name? It's like, what's your name? What's your cutie mark?
Sparkle cat friend.
I don't see you on the list. You're not an official. You're not on the official Royal Guard, and much less on duty tonight.
Honestly, with how things tend to go with guard mentalities, they'd probably hear a name like that and be like, "Seems legit."
Well, I mean, at this point, I think if they were competent guards on this, and they're basically guarding the White House, the equivalent of the White House, and it's like they would, if somebody tries to try and walk in with a Secret Service, saying they're Secret Service, and they're not on the list, their identity doesn't make any sense, they got a bad badge, their badge doesn't line up, they would arrest them and charge them with impersonating Social Security. It's Secret Service, and then they would grill them and figure out what their plans were and see if there was anybody else in their cell trying to do something. Like, that seems reasonable to me, but the guards just kind of let her go. It's like, okay, but that's
Yeah,
typical.
I was concerned about that too. I'm like, this is who Twilight is trusting with her life.
Yeah, the guards aren't very competent most of the time. Occasionally they do get an upgrade and are competent
Pretty
for a few
sure
minutes.
Twilight trusts the Wonderbolts more than the Royal Guard.
Yeah,
Probably would, and they're not even a security organization.
I mean, they are technically the Air Force.
Yeah, they're technically Air Force, but they're not but they're precision flying team. So I mean, I guess they do have some defense, things, but yeah, I seriously, yeah, Wonderbolts would be a more the display team would be a lot more trustworthy than the guards, and they have spears and armor sometimes.
When Spike got big and all rampagey, the Wonderbolts were the ones that came in to put a
Yeah,
stop.
yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's just
that-
like
That's the difference between Army and Secret Service. It's the difference between, military and FBI. They're different branches of the
still, with as
thing.
much as the Royal Guard are supposed to do, they're so incompetent at their
I know.
job. It's not even
I mean,
funny.
they were useful when it came to arresting Foal.
Yeah, well, they were very good when arresting Cozy, and
And
they
again, they were being
that one
by
crystal that
both
one,
princesses and Naysay in a long march.
well, and they they had the one crystal guard that threw a spear at Sombra. He wasn't terribly effective, but at least he tried.
Good eye. Yeah.
And that's more than you can say for a lot of them. Like, he chucked a spear. It's like, yeah, okay. That's what a guard is supposed to do. You have an enemy, you chuck a spear
I
at
told
them.
you to stand still, look pretty. Guards do nothing.
But anyway, so Discord pops them out of the castle into the same alley as the Evil League of Evil, while donning a cheerleading outfit from Twilight School.
Because why not? He's got spirit. Yes, he do.
So Tyrek drains the energy from the Earth Ponies, making the food. This leads them to suspect something might be wrong with the food. Twilight wanted special cookies as the adjustment, an inconvenience for sure, but it was accomplishable. Cozy convinces a stressed-out Weather Pegasus that she'll take care of the small stuff so we can handle the big picture. How this works is beyond me. It would be one thing if it's one thing if she was an adult, but she's a little filly. What are you doing putting her in charge of anything?
She's a charming Pegasus that works to her advantage. She's also being friendly and consoling, and
She's a child.
I know what I'm doing. I mean, the Crusaders are children, but they're pretty amazing.
Yes,
And they're about the same age.
but still, this is a royal thing. It's like, you're really going to trust this little filly you've never met before to do stuff. It's like, no. I would say, go away, little filly. It's like, this is stressful enough without you. Go away.
Go run off to your parents, wherever they may be.
Yeah. Where are your parents? What are you doing out this late at night?
I shouldn't have
I
said
have a
that.
feeling she killed her parents at some point, or
Yeah.
convinced them to commit suicide.
But yeah, it's like, what is a child doing out this late at night
What's
without her parents?
Stories could she have gone through to make her so evil?
For the summer sun celebration, it's normal for
Yeah,
children
I know to
be
stay
out
up that late is normal, but to be out and about in the middle of the night on your own, I understand the being at home, maybe playing some board games and, sort of the New Year's Eve sort of thing. But, like, a child just wandering around without a parent, it's like, I guess there could be, ponies that are working on things and they bring their kids with them, but it's like, you should be over there near your parents. I don't know. I know all the people that are working here. You're not any of their kid.
She was taking advantage of someone that was overly panicked.
Yes. But still.
She wasn't successful. The plot couldn't move forward.
Yeah, but if she'd tampered with stuff instead of like getting him to actually let her do stuff. It's like, anyway. So Chrysalis tries to convince the firework troop of unicorn supremacy and sow the seeds of discord, little d, to interrupt an otherwise promising performance. Like, this all works just fine. And it's like, okay, so unicorns shouldn't be using your magic for petty performances. It's like, um, this is my cue mark. This is what I love doing. So, you know, T-Rex is the only one that actually, like, the rest of them, they got lucky and they got people that would get ponies that would actually listen to them. Like, they got lucky on those two, on Chrysalis and Cozy. Like, T-Rex was actually a decent plan. It was,
Yeah.
it doesn't require them getting extremely gullible marks. Like, his actually works without gullible marks. Like,
Yeah.
but like the other two, they got really freaking lucky that actually worked out.
Most of the masses in Equestria are pretty gullible, though.
Yeah, it's just like,
I blame the royalty and the fact that their royalty are kind of they are very passive.
Yeah,
Like,
not very involved. Part of the reason I think that they're wanting Twilight to take over is because she's so much more active in the kingdom.
yeah. And I mean, just the fact that they've been complacent for a very long time. Sure, they have the occasional bad guy, but the bad guy is usually really out in the open about everything and like, ha ha ha, I'm going to take over. And then, oh, the Princess Twilight will save us, and the main six, they'll save us. The elements of harmony will protect us. We don't have anything to worry about. And every pony in Equestria has just gotten super complacent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world can be ending and
Most
you want
of all.
sipping some tea, just going, nice day.
the weather runs amok, the Earth ponies are sick, and unicorns won't perform. All this news arrives at once, but Twilight doesn't receive the news because her friends won't tell her.
It
AJ wants to tell
decided
it, but
they don't
Rarity
want
wants
her
Twilight to
out,
keep the
so-
calm growth she's achieved.
Is because if you tell Twilight, she will Twilight times 1,000.
Well, she doesn't, though. That's the thing, is
I know.
she figures it out later when she's walking around with the
Yeah.
sisters, and she doesn't freak
Because-
out.
Just happened upon Discord. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm just watching the chaos.
I think she did freak out, but it was just so strong that it just went from freak out to I'm calm.
Internal screaming.
Yes.
Oh, she was
Like every time she sees a ladybug.
she was not, yeah, she wasn't like outwardly screaming. She was very serene, at least on the surface. She kept her composure.
I'm used to this by now.
And Best Pony had the right idea, but no, we need to keep the information away from Twilight, because that's never been a problem before.
Best Pony was sitting there enjoying the show. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's a Draconicus, not a pony.
But he's still
pony.
Best Pony.
He's too good for that.
He's best pony, best dragon, best griffin, best everything.
He is.
He can be a pony if he wants.
Yeah.
Yes,
form
but
usually a great
not.
pony.
He's usually not a pony. He's usually just
So?
his Draconicus discordant
Yes.
self. So
Well, according to Jack, Best Pony wasn't in this one. She was in the other one.
anyway, so they try to fix everything before she finds out and freaks out, because that has never caused any problems before. They figure it out that it isn't the food because Pinky is absolutely fine. Though she did just literally eat a plate last week, so.
Yeah.
so
She has an iron stomach.
she's got a garbage disposal and an iron stomach. just bores through things. Just. That pony defies all laws of physics.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yes.
Like one thing that I've kind of discovered is you just don't question Pinky. It works because she's Pinky.
She runs on rule of funny. She is powered by rule of funny. Whatever is the funniest way to do that, she runs off of that.
I ended up coining it the Roger Rabbit rule. If you remember the scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit where Eddie is trying to saw off the handcuffs,
Yeah.
that Roger slips his hand right out of it. You telling me you could have done that the whole time? No, only when it was funny.
Yes, that's the rule of funny.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, you can do anything you want so long as it's for comedy. As long as it gets a laugh, you can do it.
Yeah.
So the Three Stooges brute force their way to the castle by draining a guard and using his medallion. Where are all the extra troops? I thought they were going to double the guard. And you think like they don't run into anybody really. The first thing they run into are the geese. The geese are still there, and one follows them, but then Chrysalis kind of gets him away. It's like by transforming into a goose and saying, go away. And then we get this nice little exchange. I told you this was a bad idea, but no pony ever listens to me. Twilight, that's it.
If everyone listened to Applejack, no one would ever have any problems.
I feel you, Applejack. I feel you on a deep emotion.
Ew. Don't feel Applejack. Dex might get jealous.
Quiet you. Twilight, I thought everything was fine. What's going on? Applejack, everything was going fine. Pinky, until it totally wasn't. Fluttershy, we tried to fix it ourselves. Twilight, why didn't you tell me? Rainbow Dash, we didn't want you to freak out. And you thought not telling me everything was a total disaster and would avoid a freak out? Spike, when you say it like that, it sounds like a really bad plan. Because it was, and Best Pony told you it was. Discord, here it comes. She takes a deep in breath and it's like, I know how I used to react, but I really have changed. Panicking won't solve anything. But we can handle whatever problems come our way as long as we handle them together.
Go Twilight.
Celestia, spoken like a true leader. How can we help? Twilight, I love a good to-do list. So tell me exactly what happened so we can figure out exactly what to do to fix it. So they go around fixing the chaos while the Three Stooges get a hold of the book about the bell. And they give Twilight a new edition of the sun moon changer thing, and they do actually give her some practice with it, which must have been interesting. It's like the sun. Why are they going back and forth? Twilight's practicing probably.
Yeah. Which apparently it's just as simple as turn the crank and you get and the sun and moon move.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, they simplified it down to a binary flip. And but yeah, she's just like, yeah, boop boop boop. But it's a simple dial to click, click. And yeah, I imagine that a lot of the times they notice what's going on with the sky. Like at this point, if everybody's kind of figured out, everybody knows what's happening with Twilight taking over and the sisters retiring. It's like, okay, yeah, that's Twilight. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And now Sis is just like
Yep.
thinking, sister, We could have used this a while ago. Just get out of bed, flip the switch, go back to bed.
Well, they have other duties, so they,
True.
like the sun and the moon. The moving of the sun and the moon is, that's important, and that's a big chunk of their responsibility. But they also have other duties as
That's
monarch.
their duty as as gods. Their duty as princesses is to do all the admin shit and all of the we gotta with delegates, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. Remember the episode where they switched places and it's just like, oh, that's so fucking annoying. How do you smile so much?
So
You
my
talked to
question
yourself,
is,
didn't you?
who the hell is going to be managing dreams now?
I think they discussed
Luna's
that.
literally the only one that can do that.
We don't know.
Rainbow called dibs, but that's...
Yeah, we just don't know how that's all gonna work yet. If we're ever gonna be told how that works.
I could see Pinkie Pie doing that somehow.
I mean, she wasn't there for 1,000 years, so.
And
they got along just fine. So.
But
I just won't have a dreamwalker. Or Luna will do it casually as sort of a, I feel like doing this. And she'll do that occasionally. But she won't have other duties to worry about. Just like, yep, this is all I do. I occasionally dreamwalk because I feel like it.
it might just end up becoming a hobby for her.
Yeah, she has no other duties required of her, so she dreamwalks when she wants.
Her hobby is collecting nightmares.
So we get the final speech from Twilight. The celebration has always been a reminder not to fear the night, for there's always a new day to look forward to. Seems a bit anti-night, but anyway. But as we look towards Equestria's future, I am sad to say today will be the last summer sun celebration. Crowd gasps. Because there's something even more important to celebrate. There are two ponies who've watched over us night and day for as long as we can remember. We will no longer commemorate their battle or their reunion. Instead, we will take this day to celebrate how much they mean to all of us. From this day forward, today will be known as the Festival of the Two Sisters.
Which was a very nice moment.
And it's sort of one of those first moments of Twilight actually taking along some authority. It's like, if I'm going to be in charge, and seemingly this is going to be the last one before I take charge, I'm going to start making some decisions, and this is what we're going to do. We're still going to have the celebration, just be called something else. And now they have...
bow down to me.
Yeah, well, and now they have... I like that they have two sort of... well, actually, they have a holiday for every sort of equinox and solstice. Summer sun celebration, that's summer solstice. We never hear a particular date for it, but their hearthwarming is probably the winter solstice.
Nightmare Night for autumn.
Well, they got running of the leaves. That's the transition.
Well, that's the transition from autumn to winter. But Nightmare Night itself definitely takes place.
That's still in fall.
Yeah.
But I think that's more beginning of fall or in the middle of fall. Because they're still, if by the time winter comes, they've already fallen off.
The solstice is beginning.
Yeah, solstice is the beginning of winter. So the fall equinox, the leaves are starting to turn and they're starting to, pound the ground a little bit maybe. And we don't know exactly when all these holidays hit exactly. And of course, also, winter wrap up, that's spring solstice, or spring equinox rather.
Yeah.
So there's like there's each sort of major solar event is represented with something, although we don't know the exact date. So yeah, Nightmare Night or Running of the Leaves could either be one of those. Um, uh,
I think it's most likely Nightmare Night.
we don't know when either of them occurs. So
Nightmare Night is Halloween.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not even. I'll look at this one. Uh, uh, okay. Yeah, it's really. Yeah, we don't know exactly when those happen per se, but it's all. The only one I think we've got a good handle on was the Summer Sun Celebration and Winter Wrap Up. Those were both important quarter dates. But anyway, so we find out after that Grogar has found what he sought, and so have the Three Stooges. Will evil fight evil when the opportunity knocks?
Most likely.
Yeah. It's like, will you
And I think evil's not going to be quite so evil by the end of it, because through their camaraderie, they're going to find that maybe Twilight had a point.
Yes, they will learn. They too will learn the power of friendship.
Oh no, but Cozy Glow knows the power of friendship.
Yes, but they will truly understand it.
They know the Cozy knows the power of it, but not the magic.
Yes.
Exactly. That's because
And
she's a silly Pegasus, and Pegasus don't understand magic.
I'm just gonna let you believe that.
but
You know,
anyway, yeah. I mean, what was I gonna say? But yeah, you have the. Yeah, if they do turn on each other, it would be interesting.
seeing a buff Eric get his ass handed to him.
But
Well, we know Grogar would kick their ass the second it suits him. And I think they're going to realize this. They're definitely going to be like, Grogar doesn't care, and Grogar is just using us. The second we're no longer useful to him, he's going to throw us to the curb and take all the power to himself. So
if we want to have a chance at power, we need to act first and eliminate him so that we could continue doing our thing and slowly work our way up to getting our power. And then they slowly learn the power of friendship, and Chrysalis turns into a Skittlebug.
Hey, Skittles are delicious.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm not disparaging Skittles in any way. Just describing the changelings to they're sort of skittly colored and they're bug-like. So Skittlebugs.
I don't know if she'll become a Skittlebug.
Well, it's the only way to sort of resolve her character. If you're going to resolve her character with as much planning as they are doing, and as many villains as they've redeemed.
I'm not saying she won't be redeemed. I'm just saying I don't think she's going to become a Skittlebug.
She's gonna be put to death by giant fly swatter.
Well, I mean, if she turns good and accepts the magic of friendship, then that's what happens with changelings who do that, and so she will probably, uh, you know, she might become a skittlebug of sorts. But they did kind of do didn't they kind of do a fake out of that on when they went to the mountaintop to get the bell, and they were having that conversation about friendship and whatnot, and like they did sort of a fake out with it because they were both looking at her kind of weird, and then like it turned out it wasn't anything, but it was kind of a fake out. Or did I see that somewhere else? Anyway, but yeah, I
I saw a comic where she's like, nope, the reason why I'm not going to join your friendship club thing, I don't want to look like that.
I look cool as I am. I don't want to become a skittlebug. I do like the idea of she does accept the magic of friendship. She is reformed, and she does go skittlebug, but she doesn't like it. She's like, I hate this. I hate this. I hate this.
Oh, even better, she turns pink.
Well, yeah.
Why did I have to be so bright?
or bright white. And
Okay, here's a question. Since she is Queen Chrysalis, if she were to go all Skittlebug form, would Thorax still be king, or would she like take over or get married or whatever?
I think if they do some sort of epilogue, it'll be like eventually those two got together, and it's like, yes, they're king and queen now. And they produce
don't
many
know
changeling
about that.
babies.
It's that 24 and 25 are going to be the finale of sorts, and then the final episode is just an epilogue.
Uh,
Well, still, I mean, they could do that.
and then they're like, "Psych, we're coming out with 10 more seasons."
Probably not. Though I wouldn't expect Gen 5 to be too far behind. Like, they'll finish up whatever media they've already promised for Gen 4, and then they'll give it enough time to cool down, and then they'll relaunch a Gen 5.
I
Oh,
heard that Gen
Gen
5 is going to be made specifically for the bronies.
I don't know. We'll see.
5, please be good.
Which I think that if they make a Gen 5 that's aimed more towards the bronydom, that's not going to be a very good idea, because that just defeats the purpose of
Yeah,
why they like it.
Like,
Well, they may have.
point
I seem to
is
remember
that-
seeing the quote you're talking about, and it was like, "Yeah, we're going to take our older viewers into consideration, but it'll be what it is, but it'll take it into consideration." But like, yeah, I don't know. We won't
Yeah,
know until it comes out what
don't
it's
make
gonna.
it for don't make it for bronies, but do make it where a parent won't feel embarrassed watching with their child.
Well, it's more that don't make it to where it's the sort of 90s sort of Steven Spielberg sort of situation, where it's you know make it to where the kids love it, and the jokes, there are a handful of jokes sprinkled in there that you'll go right over the kids' heads. They'll just like, oh, okay, whatever, and then move on while the parents are having a laugh at it.
No,
'Cause
no,
it's like,
no. Fingerprints. Yeah,
oh,
gonna
no,
happen.
not gonna happen.
yeah, like keeping the older viewers in mind while still keeping your target audience is definitely, I think, for the best.
Yeah,
Don't
start with your target
don't
audience,
stop it
but
from
take into
being a
other
children's show. Just
take that into account. But
Yeah.
yeah, we don't need, you know,
we don't need the brony show.
yes, there's no need for that.
That's what YouTube is for.
Yeah, If
Exactly.
they want that, they can go do fan
They can-
fiction and other
Yeah.
works. If they want something like that, they want something a little more mature.
I
There's
mean,
plenty of fan fiction. There's plenty of comics.
people
I
are
mean,
they will find or create their own content.
yes. I mean, you got
They don't
what
have
was
to.
that whole Fallout Equestria that's like they've actually bound the book, like they've had
Uh-huh.
it bound as a thing. It's like, yeah, and that's that's a bit of a, from what I understand, a far grimmer tale than than the show would ever really handle for any length of time. Like we did get that one bit with the Sombra War in that alternate timeline sort of episode, but it's otherwise, we did get a little bit of that on that, but we'd never handled something quite so dark.
Yeah.
For any length of time more than what was done in that one episode. That was very carefully done as well. So it was dark,
Mhm.
but very carefully done. This is just like, this is a story for older viewers that like the show, like the universe, but want something a little more mature. And there's plenty of that if you
Yeah.
care to take a look.
I mean, fans will come up with damn near anything.
Yeah, comics, animation,
Fan art, fan fiction.
yeah. Like, yeah, some of the fan animation is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, you got some of those PMVs that are,
Agral channel. It's exactly in the show's style.
yeah.
To the point where if it was any more accurate, they'd probably get a cease and desist.
And then there's little PMVs with like Lullaby for a Princess or something like that, and
Oh, God,
and the animated one that's really good with Luna is like into a wind of enchantment. Da, da.
they actually used Erutan's version of that song, and yeah, Duo Cartoonist is amazing. They haven't been doing much recently, but that's because they've been getting a lot more official work.
Ah.
There was also I can't remember the name of it. Damn it. But they had Eiley Monty do I can't remember the name of the song, but it's the one where Luna turns into Nightmare Moon.
Lullaby for the Sister.
No, that was a different one.
Yeah. That's more after that's happened, and it's more Celestia reflecting on it.
Yeah. Whereas the one that I'm thinking of is Luna descending to the point of becoming Nightmare Moon.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anyway,
I'm still here. I just have no idea what you guys are talking about because I don't actually participate in the fandom so much. So I'm just like, okay, you guys keep talking.
yeah, I don't really produce anything, but I do. I believe
I
you
mean,
see something posted every once in a while, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send you some links later on.
yeah, you don't have to.
Oh, and that rubber
Good
Pinkie
songs,
Pie
good
thing that we
animation.
saw, the 3D animated Pinkie Pie thing. Did you see that?
Yeah, a lot of
Oh, that
people were
was
hating it because it was something that the company put out that didn't use Andrea Libman.
yeah, and
Yeah, I was wondering why the voice. I was wondering why the voice is different.
I don't know why they didn't use Andrea for it, but I still think that the person who did it did a wonderful job. She had Pinky's energy uh
Oh yeah,
and Kate,
yeah,
but it was just a different voice.
yeah. See, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, this is a nice little fan creation.
Like, no, that is from Hasbro themselves.
Like, oh my.
Anyway, before we get too off the beaten path, do you have anything left to say about the Summer Sun setback?
It
No.
of how this season has been making me both happy and sad at the same time.
Okay. All right.
Really good quality episodes, but I'm sad that it's ending.
Okay.